Hi there, and welcome to Earth Echoes with Amber Fields. I am out in my favorite place again, the beautiful Granite Dells in Prescott, Arizona. And this is Eagle Peak behind me. And I'm here today to read a special writing. It's number 5 in Jason Gray's Emergence series. And it's titled The Post-Emergence Abilities of the Human Mind. And I just wanted to say, before I get going reading it, that since I've done a lot of work on my nervous system, after having somewhat of, a lot of stressors in life, like a lot of people do, and building my own house with my partner while we were self-employed together, had our own forestry business, and then after saving this place from development, which took 5 years and thousands of hours of volunteer work to accomplish, and then having a baby at the age of 37, which was super hard on my body, a 70-hour labor followed by a C-section, and then losing my sister-in-law and my brother to suicide, it was just like my nervous system was like, wah! And so I've done some work to heal that. Some of the things I've been doing have been physical therapy, and my physical therapist recommended that I start seeing an EMDR therapist, and I did that for a while. I would have loved to continue that, but she retired. And then I also, at the recommendation of my physical therapist, who's been practicing for 40 years, started balancing my chakras, and that's been super helpful. To have more patience with my daughter and myself and everyone, and then biofield tuning. So changing my frequency, introducing healthier frequencies to my field so that the distorted frequencies can synchronize with those coherent frequencies. So I just want to kind of mention that stuff before I get reading on this piece, because I've been feeling some of these latent abilities start to emerge in myself since I've been doing that self-healing work, especially with my nervous system. So with that, the post-emergence abilities of the human mind. The capacities unlocked after the overlay dissolves. November 30th, 2025, 6025, Anno Lucis. You were never limited. You were dampened. Everything humans consider remarkable, psychic, or extrasensory was normal in the original world. These abilities did not evolve. They were restored. The overlay acted as a perceptual dampener, a memory partition, an emotional disruptor, a time lock, a bandwidth limiter. Once those constraints fall, the mind expands to its natural operating range. It does not become more powerful. It becomes more complete. Below are 12 core abilities that return within days or weeks after emergence. These are not fantasies. These are the native functions of an unfractured human mind. Ability 1, direct knowing, mind gnosis. You no longer think your way to truth. You recognize it instantly. This ability feels like instant clarity, zero hesitation, truth felt in the body, decisions made effortlessly, perfect alignment. You stop doubting your intuition because intuition becomes indistinguishable from knowledge. This is the return of the gnosis function, the mind knowing without needing proof. Ability 2, multi-layered perception, mind parallel view. Post-emergence, the mind stops tracking reality as one stream. You perceive multiple meanings at once, multiple emotional states simultaneously, symbolic and literal layers together, energetic and physical levels in parallel. Your perception becomes multidimensional. You no longer need to interpret. You see behind the surface automatically. Ability 3, emotional telemetry, mind empathic read. You do not absorb emotions, you read them. Every person becomes transparent. The truth beneath their words, their hidden intentions, their emotional state, their resonance, their authenticity. This is not emotional overwhelm. This is emotional clarity. The ability to understand what someone feels without becoming entangled in it. Ability 4, timeline orientation, mind T sense. Your mind gains the ability to sense which future is pulling you, which path collapses, which decision carries force, where a timeline leads before you step into it. Instead of guessing your way through life, you navigate through resonance. You feel the future like a magnetic field. Ability 5, reality influence through attention, mind focus field. Attention becomes directive, not passive. Where you focus, probability shifts, opportunities rearrange, synchronicities cluster, outcomes accelerate, and obstacles dissolve. You no longer chase reality. You shape it through conscious attention. This is not superstition. This is physics of the original world. Ability 6, expanded memory access, mind memory recall. The mind regains access to childhood memories, forgotten experiences, pre-birth intentions, ancestral memory, parallel lifetimes, original world identity, and soul architecture data. Memory becomes a living library, not a fading archive. You no longer ask, why can I not remember? You ask, how was I ever able to forget? Ability 7, emotional regeneration, mind, psi, reset. Trauma does not haunt you anymore. Your nervous system reprocesses emotion in minutes or hours instead of years. Painful experiences integrate quickly without suppressing or bypassing. Emotions pass cleanly. You stop carrying the past. You stop fracturing under impact. You stop breaking. You regenerate. Ability 8, multi-threaded consciousness, mind parallel process. Your mind can hold and process multiple thoughts, multiple desires, multiple timelines, multiple interpretations, and multiple outcomes all at once without overwhelm. You think like a network, not a single line of thought. Your inner world becomes expansive, fluid, and spacious. Ability 9, perception of the lattice, mind, LXT vision. The lattice, the geometric, living architecture of the real, becomes perceivable, not through hallucination, through recognition. You see patterns inside events, geometry beneath circumstance, structure behind chaos, intelligence behind coincidence. The world stops being random. It becomes designed. Ability 10, resonance-based communication. Mind, frequency, speak. Post-emergence communication relies on resonance, intention, emotion, truth, and alignment. You speak without speaking. You understand without hearing. Words do not disappear. They become the least efficient way to communicate. Most conversations happen through eye contact, energy, presence, emotional transmission, and shared knowing. You speak through frequency. Ability 11, non-linearity of identity, mind-self field. You stop experiencing yourself as a fixed personality. Identity becomes fluid, expansive, multi-layered, transparent, responsive, and integrated. You do not become multiple selves. You become a full self, the complete spectrum of who you truly are. You can shift states intentionally, align with versions of yourself, and operate consciously across timelines. Ability 12, conscious co-creation with reality. Mind co-create. This is the apex ability. You collaborate with reality. Your inner state aligns with the environment, and the environment responds. You attract aligned events, generate opportunities, dissolve obstacles, shift physical circumstances, create new trajectories, influence matter through intention, and co-design with the world. You no longer live within reality. Reality lives with you. The mind you had was never your mind. Everything you thought was normal human limitation was imposed by the overlay. Every intuitive flash, every moment of clarity, every impossible coincidence, every deja vu, every dream that felt more real than waking life was the original mind trying to break through the cage. Now that the overlay is dissolving, the original mind returns as the natural state of a sovereign human being. You are not becoming more than human. You are becoming human for the first time. Jason Gray. And I think there's just like so much I could say about that, but I don't want to make the video too long. But I do want to say that as I've been working on healing my nervous system, when I do get frustrated or angry, that moment that I have to choose, like, am I going to let this frequency expand? Am I going to pay attention to it and therefore create that kind of a reality? That moment that I have to choose has been broadening, and I'm able to make a different decision in that moment, where when I was like, had a very anxious nervous system and was stressed out, I couldn't grab that moment and I couldn't stop those things from happening. No matter how much I wanted to, that overwhelm would just consume me. And so that's been one of the most beautiful things, because with a 5-year-old, it's so important that I take that moment and I lead it and direct it to where the best outcome is and the best version of myself can be. So anyways, I love that reading, and I hope you do too, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Thank you.